Hey guys, it's Blichter here with a Path of Exile build guide. Today I'm going to be talking about my low life SRS witch. So this witch is based around Solaris Lorica, which allows you to go low life without dying from chaos damage immediately. I got really lucky and fused this to a 6-link and 42 fuses. Don't hate me. This build also uses Dying Breath, which gives a huge effect to your curses and to your auras. So I thought this was a cool unique. I wanted to incorporate it. Another thing you'll need for this build is Alpha's Howl, which reduces the mana you reserve and gives you your aura gems a bonus. So this build costs about 9 Exalted. So if you're looking for a budget build, you're going to want to find something else. This is just something I made because, like I said, I got really lucky with the Solaris Lorica. You will need at least a 5-linked Solaris Lorica. This build does work with them. I was using one before I got this, and it works perfectly fine. You just get a little bit more damage when you're using a 6-link. So, the items you're going to need: Solaris Lorica. You're going to be using the gems Melee Physical Damage, Multi-Strike, Spell Echo, Summon Raging Spirit, Minion Damage, and Melee Splash. In the Dying Breath, I'm running my Blood Magic auras. So we're going to have Reduced Mana, Blood Magic obviously, and I'm running 3 Purities. These give you a huge amount of maximum resists due to the increased aura effect that you pick up from Dying Breath and the tree. Almost maxed out on these. I've been leveling some backup gems trying to get level 21s. You guys know how it is. I use Val Summon Skeletons for a defensive mechanic. You can drop this on hard bosses. I'm also using Val Haste and Val Discipline. These are offensive and defensive respectively. I found them super useful in not dying against hard bosses because we don't have chefs. This build is 9 Exalted, not 100. I also use Clarity for mana regen, other auras, Haste and Hatred I keep in the Alpha's Howl. You want these to be high level. Also Discipline, also with reduced mana. This is a great amulet for this build because it reduces your attribute requirements. So you need less dex strength, and you get some mana regen and bonus mana. You can find these corrupted sometimes for super cheap. I got this for 10 Chaos Orbs. For rings, you're going to be looking for a couple stats specifically. You're going to probably want to pick up some dex because you need 150 dex approximately to be running Hatred and Haste. That's before Zeri's Flobble. And you're just going to be picking up resist that you need. So you will need some chaos resist. Maximum energy shield is a great stat. And you need to make sure you've got an open prefix slot to add this increased maximum energy shield. This makes a huge difference. It's about 150, 200 energy shield on this character. Mana and mana regen are great. These rings are not amazing, but I will be upgrading them as I go. There's the other ring. Gloves and boots, you're going to be looking for just energy shield and hopefully some resists. Gloves are going to be your primary source. As far as boots go, you're going to be looking for, what are they called? Lionized Paws, I believe, are the boots I was using for a very long time. They're great because they give you a lot of stats. Yeah, these are the boots I was using before. So they can give you up to 60 strength, 60 dex, and they stop you from being stunned when you're on low life, which you will be. They also give you some movement speed. The biggest problem is that when you're on low life, you also get 40% reduced movement speed, so you need to compensate for that somehow. I was making it work by using some Quicksilver flasks. Since then, I've stopped having problems with stuns. I do use stun recovery on my flasks, and that seems to make enough of a difference that I could switch over to these boots, which are great because they've got 50 dex, which you do need, and they've also got more energy shield than Lionized Paws, which have none. And a belt, this is a really nice belt. It's obviously way better for a life-using character that does elemental damage with weapons, but I threw it on here because it's got dry res, and you need that. Okay, as far as your passive tree goes, basically you're just picking up energy shield nodes as you go. You're going to be picking up a little bit of minion damage through here. I picked this up for the cast speed and int. It is more efficient than, say, taking the 3% nodes. You're also picking up some mana, some more energy shield. You get a bit of maximum lightning resistance, which is great. I do use dual curse, so Whispers of Doom. I'll talk about curses more in a second. We pick up all these aura nodes for reduced mana reserved, increased effective auras. That's a huge point of this build. Some more of that here. As we come down, we've got increased effective curses, so that's 6%. We also pick up these curse nodes, so that's another 12%. Picking up energy shield through here, some spell damage, max mana and int. Got minion damage, some attack speed, more minion damage. Reduced cost of skills is important, especially if you're using a 6-link. You can probably skip these nodes if you're using a 5-link, but Summon Raging Spirits is expensive, so you will need to be able to cast your skills. Increased skill effect duration is an awesome set of nodes that they added in patch 1.3. I used to use increased duration on my Raging Spirits, and I was able to take it off when I got these because they actually last just long enough that I didn't need to take that. Got some more aura effect, or aura effect and mana reservation here. Just picking up things on the way to the next aura effect nodes here. And that's pretty much it. So energy shield, mana, and auras and curses are what you're picking up. I do take elemental equilibrium. This is a very important keystone. This is not reduced by the property that unique mobs have. So, for example, say I was casting elemental weakness onto a unique mob, it would get 70% reduced effect, leaving it at like maybe 12 or 13 minus resists. This is always minus 50 to other elements. I'll just show you the curse on hit setup I'm using. I must have missed that. So I'm using Frostbite, Elemental Weakness, and Arc. Arc is applying the 2 curses, and we've got curse on hit. I chose Frostbite. I used to be using Enfeeble. Enfeeble is a great defensive curse. It does make enemies do less damage to you. But what I found was that Frostbite, I kill mobs much quicker. And unless they're high health mobs in a 78 map, I actually freeze everything because I'm using level 20 Hatred, and I've got a bunch of increased aura effect. So my Raging Spirits are actually doing a lot of cold damage and just freezing mobs. As soon as I get quality on this, it'll increase the freeze duration as well. So Frostbite sort of is dual purpose in the respect that it gives a bit of defense, but mostly offense.